Great day, everyone. It's a great day. Listen, this is AVOC, a voice of consciousness, here with another edition of Get Your It Together 2.1. Today's date is February 6th, 2026. And what we're here to speak on, first give honor to a young ancestor who is now an ancestor, who was always probably more than likely an ancestor when he walked, my grandson, Spencer Contreras. So we are dedicating, and as always, we dedicate our lives to that which we already are, which is supreme, divine, and anointed in the presence as a present to this all that is. So in order for us to actually know and understand everything that we're experiencing, we have to pay close attention to our thoughts. We have to police our minds as well as watch what we say, because the things that we say, everything has life, okay? Despite what you've been told, everything has life. What is life? It's a vibratory frequency. Everything vibrates. Everything has a frequency. Everything moves, even if you don't see movement. So understand and know, understand and know, overstand and know. We are here to process the experiences, to remember. It's all about memory. When you go to school, you don't go to school and know anything. You read a lot of books, you take a lot of tests, and the tests are based on memory. Your degree is based on memory. What did you remember? Everything that you're doing requires and involves your ability to process your memory. And the memories that you have, or the things that you're doing and the things that you know how to do, is based on the level of experience with what you remember. Well, family of one, and I say family of one because there's only one source, despite what you may think or believe, and that's fine. You can think and believe what you like, but the power is in knowing, and you have to know. You have to know that you are divine. You have to know that this is the divine presence that you already are. You're the present. That's the gift that's been given as a present to this presence. So understand, even understand, understand. This is not a haphazard type of experience. You don't live through accidents. There's nothing that's an accident. There's nothing that is. There's nothing that's what they call an accident. I guess that's the best explanation that can be given for what it is. It's an accident. There's nothing that's an accident. Everything is, in fact, a intentional incident within the realm of whatever is happening in the present moment. And when you turn or go or find yourself in a situation or look around and you see people and things and you make a determination or they make a determination, it's not by accident. There's a lot of processing that goes into everything, every single moment, every nanosecond of the day. And it's important that we come to terms with relating to and having a connection with the understanding of the process of communicating with that presence that you already are, with the knowing that you are divine. with the confidence in the knowing of you, the spark. You know, there was a spark. Your presence was a spark. That spark served notice to let everything and everyone in the universe, in your universe, in your universe, know you are here. That the space is carved out. You occupy a space. Little old bitty little old me occupy a space in this time. Period. And everyone, there's no, as I said, there's no accidents. And nobody creates anything. Let me say that again. Nobody creates anything. Everything is already here. When you came on the scene, everything was already here. So there's no creation. What there is experiences with the infinite possibilities. There are infinite possibilities in a sea of eternal cosmological energy, and there is infinite possibilities. The path is yours, whatever you choose. It's not you're here to do this, you're here to do that. You're here to do what you choose to do because you're autonomous. A soul is autonomous. That's why it is hard to contain. That's why it's hard. That's why there's so many different situations, circumstances, and things that are going on to attempt to contain the soul. Those that are soulless are trying to capture soul. They have no abilities whatsoever. However, because of the factors involved, energy, frequency, and vibration, there's a consistent and constant attempts because that's their job. Everything has a purpose. Everything is here. Everything is here for a reason and a purpose. Everything. So the whole idea that something shouldn't be, get that out your mind. Get that out your head. Everything has a purpose and everything has a reason, and the purpose and the reasoning is not for you to try to decide it should or shouldn't be. The purpose and the reason is for you to determine how it best works for you. How does that fit into the mold of what it is that you want to do? So I want to keep my music going here, maybe, so I can show the name of that tune is Chicago Theme, and Chicago Theme is a nice little piece that I formerly lived in Chicago, obviously. Born in St. Louis, but raised in Chicago, as my book speaks to. Get Your It Together, Spiritual Insights for the Conscious, Volume 1. Volume 2 will be coming shortly. I do also have an audiobook. If you would like to get access to the audiobook, send me an email at voiceofc@protonmail.com. That's voiceofc@protonmail.com. And we'll get you an audio book, which is probably half the price of the volume 1. However, it doesn't have poems and it doesn't have certain things. That's why it's half the price. However, let's get back to knowing yourself, which is the key to what and why we are here. We are here to know thyself. It is not to hope that you know or wish that you know. You have to move in confidence. You have to move with the reassurance that you are a fail-safe product of the divine. You represent the all that is the all that is, that is the all there is. You are a representation of that which is the all. Everyone is a spark. Every idea that you have where you think you're creating something, you're actually processing through the vessel, which is activated through the portals, which are the chakras. Your chakras are portals. Your portals take you to different dimensions. The different dimensions are present right now, right here, right now. They're not somewhere else far off and you got to go over across the moon. No, right here, right now. Everything is a layered experience. Everything is layered. You are layered. There's so many levels to you, you can't even begin to know. And so the lack of familiarity is due in part to memory. You forgot, plain and simple. You having so much fun and you're doing so much, and you came here to do, and you came here and you are here doing something. And sometimes you forget what you're doing. Sometimes you forget where you're going. There's times I'm going in one room or I'll step out and say I'm gonna go do one thing and forget and go do something else, and then, oh yeah, no, I was supposed to. That's a regular process. That's not something that's a bad thing that, oh, you need drugs to straighten that out. No, you just need to focus. You need to focus and be intentional about your focus if you're sincere and genuine about what it is you say you want. And guess what? Energy, frequency, and vibration, the vortex that you're processing through, depending on how sincere or intentional you are, it creates a magnetic field which either draws to you or pushes you away from, or pushes it away from you. So people have issues with money, or people have issues with love. Everything is in an abundance. The divinity that we are living, breathing, walking through is abundant on every level. You can have an abundance of negativity. You can have an abundance of no cash flow. You can have an abundance of anger and hate and people spewing negativity at you. Or you can have an abundance of love, an abundance of experiences that keeps you, makes you, generates a more happier you. It's the intention within you that makes that determines what you experience. Let me say that again. The intention in you, whatever your heart's intention is, what you genuinely, sincerely, authentically want in your life, that's what you attract. That's what it is that you draw to you. That's what you, and as you determine that you want better, not to be better than someone or better than something, or you want to do better, you start to process through the chakra that has the highest ability or the higher levels, aligning with that which your intentions fuel through your heart. Everything is working cohesively. It's just that we have to know how it works to work it and not use it, take advantage of it, not misuse it, I should say, and take advantage of it, misusing it, abusing it to bring pain, to hurt, to try to find reasons to justify making somebody else feel bad. The whole idea is to be liked, to have a sense of um, caring, but not be attached to the idea, but be more moved by the experience. The experience brings about inspiration. The inspiration brings about the inspiration reflects the intention. See, many times when we are inspired by something, the intention was already in you. That's why it appeared, to get further encourage you. See, we have to know how these things work so that we can start allowing ourselves to flow versus trying to force or make it happen. You don't make anything happen. What you do is allow. See, a lot of the language that we've been taught, conditionally programmed, and indoctrinated in our minds, the ideas and concepts are not ours. We've not taken the time to parse and curate our true understanding about being whole as a soul that is conscious. We've not done that. We've allowed other entities to say, hey, this is how it works. And if you don't do it this way, it's not going to work for you. That's not really the reality and the truth. And you know it within yourself, but for whatever reason, you go along, maybe because they did it many times before you and somebody else did it in family and they passed it down and whatever the case. So all that's broken. All of that's no more. None of that is as it was. Nothing is as it was. And yet, divinity says everything is as it was. And then it's not. You're present, but then you're not. You're here, but then you're not. If you were able to see your energetic presence that shows you the being that you are occupying a space in the moment, it's a flicker. It's in and out. It's actually it's actually like a movie reel. So many um, so many square seconds per second, so many flickers per second or so. The movie reel. What you see is not actually people moving. You're looking at a film strip that is processing data, that's showing you stuff that's happening. The flickers are so quick, you don't see the pause. You only see it as a flowing continuous thing. Well, that's what we are. We're flowing continuously through this, but the present physical nature of us is a flicker. So we are the spark. And we are the spark that is being forged. Or we've been forged, actually, to be honest. We've been forged. We've been forged. So now what it is, We now are the harvest. You know, you plant the seeds, you till the soil, you water it, and then eventually you yield crops. We are the harvest. In this now moment, we are the harvest. So it's always, always, always a pleasure and an honor, and my esteemed pleasure and an honor to um, participate in this. Uh, he says a journey, but it's really not a journey. Well, I guess it is a journey. There's no destination. It's just more about memory. It's more about coming to terms with knowing yourself. That's really what it's about. It's not really about getting to the finish line. See, all of the concepts that we've been conditionally programmed in and indoctrinated in are those things given to us by the ancestors of Neanderthals, the ancestors of barbarians, the ancestors of criminals, convicts, you name it, the scourge of the earth. And it's showing now. Because remember, this is the revelation. We're in the time of revelation, so everything is being revealed. The truth of all that is showing you all there is. And now it's up to you to decide you want to go, 180 degrees from whatever, because that's what has to happen. In order to bring back the balance, you have to go away from the nonsense, or that which is the nonsense. The level of maturity is that of a child. And everything in the society that we live in today is fashioned around the idealisms of children. And so, and it's not that it's a bad thing or a good thing. It's just a reality. It's just a thing that we must be capable of seeing it as it is. If you're incapable or choosing not, no such thing as incapability, but if you're choosing not to see something as it is, if you're choosing to rather not deal with, that's a choice. And there are circumstances that go with every choice, right, wrong, good, bad, indifferent, or not. And we have to be willing to accept responsibility for whatever it is, and then make better decisions around it so we will bring ourselves better experiences. Because the whole idea is to bring about the realization through the experience to know yourself. That's the bottom line. There is no better joy and no better joy than to know thyself. Because you don't need approval. There's no, again, I'm doing this whether somebody's here or not. And I'm not been marketing and pushing and doing all the things that I used to do when I did my blog talk radio show back in 2012 to 2017. I'm not doing what I used to do. I used to be out sending out. I will eventually, probably, more than likely. However, it's not about numbers for me. Again, it's not about the numbers for me. That's what it is for the system of things. And so the numbers generate the cash, and that's important. And I get that. I'm not naive to that. However, that's not the impotence for why I do what I'm doing. I need to align my energies and broadcast through my vessel so that I can know the present that I am, to occupy my space or occupy the space that I am. We own nothing. We have nothing. There is nothing that you have to attain. There is nothing that you have to acquire. There's only memory. The consciousness, or the consciousness that is the all, which is source, is expressing itself in you, through you, as you, right now. And the more you align yourself with the realization of knowing that you are the all that is, as source, as the source that is source present, that's all. That's the reward. That's the reward, because you coming to terms with your memory. You coming to terms with remembering yourself, not memorializing, which is what we do with the ancestors and what we do with, the deities and all that thing, is memorializing. Because if you're not embracing what it is, how it lived, or how they lived, or what it is that you can glean from how they lived, or how they're living through you, if you're not present in that, you're memorializing. And memorialization is fine. There's nothing wrong with nothing. What happens is we get lost in the sauce. In other words, you kind of forget, or you get hooked on the feeling, or you get caught up in the emotions of something, and not allowing yourself to flow with the understanding of that something. Everything is being taken to another level. And it's going to be, depending on who you are, an ascension level, meaning the best of you, the best of yourself is reawakening and re-emerging within you right now. That's the call that is the all, which is and again, as you embrace your memory of self, the self-awareness that is you, the consciousness that flows through your conduit, because this is a conduit. We process and transmit, receive and transmit, transduce. We do it all. And it's not, again, hard. It's just a question of your awareness and your wherewithal in terms of maintaining the consciousness that is the all that is present as you. Everything and everyone has the presence of the all that they are representative of, that they represent. Everything. Grass, chipmunks, birds, dogs, cats, people, cars, animate and inanimate, because energy went into whatever it is that you're looking at and see, which you're having an experience with. If you like the light, or that's beautiful, that's an experience. Everything has energy, frequency, and vibration. And so everything comes and goes as an experience, and it's determined by your genuine, authentic intention of your heart, coupled with the processing of the energy that flows through you, coupled with how you process the idea or the perspective pertaining to your experience. Everything is like a loop. It comes back around. This is a cycle that's been here before. We've done this before. Maybe not exactly the same way, maybe not with the same type of dynamics, but it's similar. Nothing. My dad used to say that one of the few things that I got from him that he said that he would say, and this was a big one. I didn't realize how big it was. There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. I'm thinking, oh man, this is new. Oh, we doing this. Y'all did that back in the day. We doing this today. And it's a variation of the same thing. There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing. And so we must know. And in knowing, you tend to flow more smoother, more relaxed. You have a genuine um, centeredness about you. There's a level of peace. And because now that's what you need. Well, I don't know if that's what you need, but you want peace of mind. And so it's incumbent upon you to remember how that actually works. How do you get peace of mind? It's not, you can't get it, you're not going to get it in stuff. You're not going to get it in the title. You're not going to get it with money. It's stuff. You're not going to get peace of mind with stuff. If anything, you're going to bring more of the same or more of the chaos or whatever it is that you're trying to get away from. You're going to bring more of it if you think that it's outside of you. If you think whatever it is that is outside of you, go right ahead, be my guest. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. However, you're hoping and wishing. You got to know. And when you know, you move different. You think different. You act different. When you know, you know. And those aspects of your experiences with your life daily shows up differently. And it confirms and accentuates the knowing that you already profess. By the same token, if you profess, you believe and you don't know and you're not sure and what if, and you need validation from others and people have to tell you. I don't do a whole lot of telling. I'm just speaking about my experiences through my experiences. I'm speaking from my experience. It's not to suggest that you have to do it the way I've done it. It's just to suggest that you have to remember who you really are. And these are things that could inspire, could spark, could give you that inspiration to say, oh yeah, wait a minute. What if I tried it this way? Because that's what I've done with my life. Instead of doing the things the way I've seen a lot of people before me, aunts and uncles and cousins and family members, again, I don't have any heroes or anyone that I look up to, but I respect everyone and everything. So that's the difference. I'm not a fan of anyone, but I respect people. The bottom line is that I respect you. And it's not about your title. It's not about what you've accomplished and what you think you've done in life. It's the fact that you're breathing air. That's it. Because if you're doing something out of pocket or you're doing something you ain't got no business, I don't have to be there. So I can move on. I ain't got to disrespect you or have a problem with you because I don't like what you're doing. That's you. We all have to be responsible for our actions. Let me say that again. Every action, whether it's a reaction or not, we all have to be responsible for our actions. And our actions is a choice to move in the moment or do something in a nanosecond in the moment. You choosing to do it. It's not something that, you couldn't help yourself. If you were sparked and inspired, you still can make the choice not to, or you can make the choice to do. So again, this is another edition. I will be back Saturday. I'm getting closer to 10. I'm supposed to be 10 a.m. every Saturday morning. So I was closer to 10 today. It was 20 after. And so we're going to keep on pushing until we get the time thing together so that we have ourselves prepared and ready to go at 10 each Saturday. And we'll start to do more, not so much as marketing as much as, well, I guess that's what it is, it's marketing, but making you aware. And so subscribe to the channel, if you will, a voice of consciousness 4019. And if you so feeling so inspired and benevolent, you can cash out a brother at voice of C, $ voice of C, capital V, capital C, voice of C. And check the website. Like to know your opinion, or get your thoughts on my website, jhwentinc.com. Go ahead and take a look around. There's some e-commerce. I will be updating and putting more products made available, more products through the e-commerce and the second book. So everything will be moving along in a short period of time. So thank you for taking the time to listen, whether you're here or not. I know you're taking some moments to pull up, sit down, and as you wash dishes or whatever you're doing in your home, you're listening. And I thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Okay. Another edition of Get Your It Together 2.1. This is your host, Avok, a voice of consciousness, aka King James, KYNGJAYMES. Have a great day, and it's all love. Peace. Are you serious? Why is it still going? What is